Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and this is episode 4, and I'm going to tell you right now it is absolutely freezing here in the UK, especially in my office, so nice cup of coffee to keep me going. Right, quick status update on where we are. Currently I have maxed out on the number of listings that I can have, and that's currently set at 23, and I made a mistake. So thinking about it now, I should have done it differently, but it's done now. It's not that bad. It's just what I should have done is listed one item as a quantity. Instead, what I've done is I've my listings have multiple units. So I've used up more of my value quickly. So I've got 23 listings, and that's up to £3,500 worth of stock. So yeah, what I should have done is one item for each one, and I would have had maybe loads more listings, and that would have gave me more chance as I'm starting off. But it's not that devastating, you know, it's not too bad. I've made 11 sales to date, which is really good in my opinion. I'll put a little flash up in a second with some information about that. Total value of sales over the last month have been £1,000, and I really haven't experienced that much of a problem doing this. It's I've had obviously the one issue where my customer was concerned about the lead time because I'd run out of stock, and also I've had one customer leave me a bad feedback, which was a bit disappointing because it was about the quality of the product, which I can't really control, and they didn't actually ask for a refund. So, you know, what should I do? I don't know. I haven't really done much about it. They've not complained. They've not requested a refund. The poor feedback is on there. What they said is that the item that I've sent them looks nice, but is overpriced and is made of thin plywood. Well, actually it says in the listing it's made of plywood, so I am tempted to go to eBay and say, look, this is a bit unfair because it says in the listing that this is made of plywood, and the customer would have known this. However, on that I might just leave it, because apparently they can leave feedback, bad feedback if they wish. So, but I'm hoping that it's not going to be it's not going to affect the rest of my sales, because it's taken my my feedback percentage down to 85. So I've been thinking about that, and you know, I always used to think back to when I worked in other jobs, when you had to sort of do KPIs and sort of like figures about how your departments are running, and again it was all based on percentages. Well, you know, as you guys know, percentages are not made up of one number. Percentages are made up of a couple of numbers. So in this case, it's the number of sales against the feedback, or the good feedback against the bad feedback. So you know, it's a seesaw, and in my opinion, is that if you've got bad feedback, then there's potentially a way that you can resolve that by selling lots of cheap items quickly to try and get good feedback, so that you can pick it up but without too much expense. So it's something I need to look at. Whether or not I actually want to look at it, I might just leave it on there, because you know, I think having 100% is difficult anyway. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, I know I've had a good month. I've not put much effort into it, to be fair. I'm not saying that I've been lazy. It's been down to other things. I mean, God, I haven't even had a chance to have a shave properly. But it's, you know, been easy. I've listed the items. I have taken a bit of pot luck on the items, really. I've just gone through and looked to say, yep, I like the look of that, stick 40% on. Some items I've actually done a bit more homework on and looked at to see whether or not I can sell it at a bit more profit, or if it's actually selling, you know, at a higher price. So I have discarded some items and included others. So yeah, it's all good. The one big ball ache for me is having to go and check stock from my suppliers. So what I've been doing is on a daily basis, I will go and have a look at every single item that I have and see if my supplier is out of stock of that item, and then remove it. So yeah, that's the big ball ache. So I can understand that the software that's available out there would make that a lot easier. But I'm not actually sure if some of my suppliers are going to be included on that, because I've gone to some quite... I'll strike that. The suppliers that I'm using are pretty mainstream, but the ones that I want to start using and some of the ones that I'm finding are not mainstream, so I doubt that they'll be included in that software support. So that's a consideration for me. So yeah, how was my first month? Well, you know, I'm encouraged by it, let's put it that way. I need to pull my finger out, and I need to do a bit more work on getting my listings done. As I say, I'm maxed out on my listings at the moment. However, I'm coming to the end of the 30 days, good till cancelled on a lot of the items, so I'm going to start doing a bit of pruning and then reintroducing some new items, or putting in some new items, whilst leaving the ones which have been popular based on the number of views and the number of watches and the number of sales. You know, so it's it's been very good, I think, and I'd like to see it develop more now over the next couple of months and provide myself with a secondary income. The profit that I'm making from this, I want to push back into the business, so I don't want to actually take a profit out of it. I'm going to be a little bit careful about revealing how much money I'm making from this. But this first month, I will declare it. I will say that, you know, of that £1,000 sales, I've made quite a healthy profit, which is nice. It is nice. So yeah, it's about a matter of me getting into the process now and working it a little bit more. I might even apply for my first listings increase. I don't know just yet. I may do that on Monday, because I'm going to do some pruning and changing around. I might do. I mean, my account is 2 years old. Now I'm selling a bit more. They might well just do, you know, give me an update. So we will see about that. Something else as well. I mean, I say I do watch a lot of videos. I do keep an eye on what's being posted out there, and you know, I do like to sort of recommend other people. Becky has released a video recently about being in PayPal jail, and I think that was probably one of the biggest things that sort of was a problem over the last month for me, in that my money being tied up, and it was a concern when it first happened. However, I'm not quite sure what is actually the case with this, because I had 11 sales and 2 of them were put in PayPal jail. Most of the sales happened after they'd been put in PayPal jail. So I don't know if it's because my account is now in a better standing that they trust me, but it almost certainly didn't meet the criteria. So I'm not sure if it's just eligibility on customers, certain customers, not every customer. So that's an interesting one. So, you know, if you're worried about PayPal jail, I mean, watch Becky's video. I'll put a link to her channel beneath this anyway. But she basically says on there that everybody goes into PayPal jail at the start, and I don't know, because that's not the experience I've had. I'm not quite sure if that's true or accurate. I'm not saying that she's lying. You know, it could be that if you've got a brand new PayPal account, you're going to go into PayPal jail straight away. I didn't experience that. I only had 2 of my sales going to PayPal jail. The rest of them, I received the money immediately and was able to use that money to purchase the goods. Excuse me, it is cold in here and my nose is running. But all in all, I had about £250 worth tied up, £230 worth of sales tied up out of that £1,000. So it wasn't that bad in the end. I say my customer hasn't come back and complained about the length of time that it took to get the goods to her, and the other customer hasn't asked for a refund on that product. So right now I'm just sort of kind of sitting pretty and waiting for my first eBay invoice to come out of my account. So the money's there, ready and waiting. So I need to start setting some goals on what I'm going to be doing with this over the next 4 weeks. I really want to crank it up and get more in there. Christmas is coming, Black Friday is next week. So if I can get an increased listing before next Friday, brilliant. I need to do that. I know that Monday and Tuesday next week for me are pretty good. I can spend some time on this, whereas Thursday and Friday I'm out of the office all day long. So set some goals. Now, I also want to start bringing in a bit more on the software side. I think just a way of controlling it, so that I can see what's going on. I really want to investigate that. And also I'm going to start looking at other things along the lines of Shopify. I'm thinking about setting up a Shopify store from the profits that I've made this month, and also other things that I'm investigating and having a look at. So I follow another chap here on YouTube called Mike Vestil. I would highly recommend looking at what he does. He's a very enthusiastic young man and has a lot of content on his website about other things that are not just dropshipping. Although he does talk about it, he certainly gives you some other ideas on how you can potentially monetize your online experiences in life. So I'll be looking at those and putting a strategy in place to follow that. So not much really to sort of give you this week, which is, still early days for me. It's only month one. So I'm hoping that you guys are still going to watch the videos, that my subscription levels are going up, which is great. I can't, there's not much content in here at the moment, and yet I've got 15 subscribers. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. And I will see you next week, and we will see how Black Friday has influenced us all. Okay, so take care. See you soon.